Kidnapping is one of the most rampant violent crimes in Nigeria presently. It's a felonious crime and can basically be defined as the unlawful forceful seizure, abduction and confinement of any person against his or her will. There are 4 types of kidnappings, namely terrorist kidnapping, that is carried out by terrorists for purely terrorist reasons to draw attention to their cause; religious kidnapping, perpetrated by a specific religious group or sect to instill fear on others in furtherance of its religious pursuit; political kidnapping, carried out by some political party members to intimidate or cow others in order to advance their political objectives; and kidnapping for ransom, executed by career or professional criminal elements as a commercial venture. It suffices to note here that all of the 4 types of kidnappings are criminal in nature. As a felonious offense, kidnapping attracts diverse statutory punishment. Moreover, all kidnappings are usually executed using arms and violence. Kidnapping for ransom in Nigeria evolved with the abduction of some local and foreign workers in the Niger Delta region in 2003. The crime became infamous with the abduction of the Chibok girls by Boko Haram terrorist group in 2014. Since then, tens of thousands of victims have been kidnapped, cutting across a broad spectrum of victims, amongst who are clergy, military and paramilitary personnel, politicians, businessmen, and women, amongst others. As the allure of financial gains in kidnapping intensifies, the number of casualties continue to increase with neither age nor gender barriers. One of the questions to ask at this point is why kidnapping is becoming so rampant in the country currently. Some of the root causes of kidnapping reveal a complex interplay of the following: 1, unemployment; 2, poverty; 3, drug abuse; 4, vast porous borders; 5, widespread availability of small arms and light weapons; and the reactive law enforcement strategies and tendencies. The other causes are challenges in intelligence gathering and analysis, pervasive corrupt practices that hinder effective security countermeasures, insufficient utilization of intelligence technology, and lack of political will to combat kidnapping headlong. Talking about lack of political will, for example, it may be a valid point to ask why government has not been able to successfully synchronize SIM card registration for several years now. At this point, let us examine how kidnappers operate. Kidnappers are almost always armed and they use stealth and surprise. They hardly operate by chance. Most kidnappers are ruthless career criminals who do not carry out an operation until they have carefully studied the habits and movements of their targeted victims. Their informants and sources of information may include insiders, lookouts, and various social media platforms. Kidnappers ginger themselves up with charms and psychoactive substances. Here are some basic tips on how to survive kidnapping. Avoid boastfulness and display of flamboyant and ostentatious lifestyle in public.
500. Now we are talking of dollars, you are talking of naira. I have told him to wire it to you so that we can start processing the second account. So what of that building, the one at Maitama? Money is not the problem. Money is not the problem. How much is that one? And is it not just $50,000? We will sort it. What else again? Is it money? Money is not the problem. We will sort it. Money will sort it.
In the event of being kidnapped, do everything within your power to stay alive by raising your survival instinct. The following measures may be helpful. Avoid argument and struggling. Cooperate with the kidnappers and do not do anything that will push them to use more violent force or other dangerous weapons. Avoid arguments. Arguments easily provoke armed criminals under the influence of psychoactive substances to resort to violence. Do not enter into any form of financial negotiation with them. Allow those they have contacted outside to do so on your behalf. Any attempt to escape should only be made under the safest possibility. Never resort to the use of a gun to ward off kidnappers except you have had some training in the use of firearms. Otherwise, it's very extremely dangerous. While under their abduction, remain prayerful and sensitive, but not too obviously concerned about their composition, mannerisms, appearances, routes, location, and every action they take until your safety is guaranteed. In conclusion, endeavor to be security conscious and do not make yourself a predictable creature of habit and easy target. In other words, vary your routine as much as possible and do not disclose information about yourself to those who do not need to know. And being mindful of the risk of unnecessary social media exposure. What is more, keep a clear head at all times. Say no to drugs and yes to life. Thank you so much for watching this video. Kindly subscribe, like, and share. You can follow us on other social media handles displayed on the screen.